It is very frustrating when your fair value gaps do not hold at all, and today I'm gonna show you what you should be doing instead in order to increase your probabilities of winning the trades and how we are doing it in the trading signals and in the academy and in the one-on-one mentoring as well. Stay tuned because this is the right video for you if you want to increase your probability of winning from fair value gaps. Let's begin with the video. And as we begin, I'm gonna tell you that the yellow areas that you see on my chart right now are the areas that I'm pinpointing every single day, and we are taking trades from those areas with the signals group, and we are rocking it, getting results such as these results over here, more than $1,000 trading day, only with those 25,000 rally accounts. But now let's begin, and I'm gonna show you what you are doing, and you shouldn't be doing it exactly as you are doing it. This is why your fair value gaps fail. So most of you, what you're doing when you have any move, as an example, let's assume that you are over here. What you're doing in this occasion, you're going ahead and you're identifying all the fair value gaps that you're having. Let's go, for example, you are, let's say, on the 15-minute time frame, whatever. Okay, you're identifying your fair value gaps like that, and you're expecting on a lower time frame to see a reaction within the fair value gaps, and you're expecting to win this move, or at least the second one or the third one if this does not work. Well, sometimes this is gonna work, but many other times you're gonna fall into those situations as you see right here. And of course, I recognize the fact that in this occasion, this candlestick would be enough for a scalp of 180 ticks, but you wouldn't be able to do so because scaling down to your 1 minute time frame or whatever you are doing, you would be buying somewhere around here, and then price would give you only, let's say, 96 ticks, and it would come back and it would stop you. You wouldn't even be able to get a one-on-one. Even if you would be doing that, you would be almost at a one-to-one right here. You would be at 0.68 to 1 reward to risk. So you don't know what to do, you're struggling, you're going ahead. Sometimes you are seeing the fair value gaps work. I'm gonna show you an occasion that they work. And one occasion is this occasion right here, of course, this occasion right here. And this is all in retrospect, and you see, okay, it is working fine, it is working great, I can trade fair value gaps. The truth is that you cannot trade fair value gaps, and you cannot find success by trading fair value gaps. If you could, you would all be making money as we are doing right here, and you wouldn't be going around on YouTube channels and searching for content that might help you in order to make profits. You're not gonna make any profits if you follow those guys that are selling you courses for $5,000–$10,000. They are 1000% scammers, but here what I will tell you is the real deal. Very important what you should be doing if you want your areas to hold. You need to have, I know that you have heard that 1 billion times, but you need to have a bias, starting, in my opinion, from the daily time frame. Okay, 1 day time frame bias. This is the most important thing that you should be doing. You should be having a bias from the daily time frame. Now here comes the most important thing, in my opinion. The biases that they have taught you to identify from the daily time frame are not the way that I'm identifying them. So this is the first thing that you are struggling with, how to identify the daily time frame bias. I have videos on that. I have at least one video of the past on this thing, but it is not exactly as you might think it is. There are many more secrets regarding daily bias and bias in general. Of course, we are using the daily bias, and those secrets you will not be able to find anywhere else on YouTube. I am the one who is teaching those things 1 billion%, and I haven't lost a single day. Not a single trade. I have lost trades. I have not lost days for the past 2 months, guys. Not a single losing day. So the way I have learned how to identify daily bias is by watching the lower time frames, believe it or not. So my suggestion to you, in order to understand that, if you don't want to pay for a service such as my service, because I'm the only one who is gonna teach that to you like that, then you have to go to the 1 minute time frame and just watch price action for hours. Those are tips that nobody else is gonna talk about. Make sure that you stick around throughout the whole video. You will become profitable after this spectacular video. So, if you want to learn and to get an intuition also with rules at the very same time on where price is gonna be going, then all you need to do, because price is repeating itself exactly every single time on every single time frame, go down to the 1 minute time frame and check out how the candlesticks are being formed. And at the very same time, I want you to check out what is happening every single time. For example, when we're having a wick, as an example, let's assume this is a bullish candlestick right here. And now the next candlestick starts and it does that. What is more likely to happen? Those are things that you should know with very high statistical significance. Okay, what is the next candlestick supposed to do if you start, for example, and you see it being formed right here and then doing something like that, as an example? Is it gonna break above or is it gonna break below? Those are things that I know with very, very high certainty, and this is why I haven't had a single losing day for the past 2 months, guys. Okay, so today it is the 23rd of October 2024. As of the making of this video, I have a bunch of payouts that are being processed, and you can see my payouts right here. Those are payouts that I'm gonna receive, even though fast track trading has changed the rules, and of course those accounts are going for payout as well with the new rules, no problem at all. I don't have a problem at all. So a bunch of payouts coming my way and our way in general. This is what you need to do. In order to identify the daily bias, you have to spend a lot of time on a lower time frame. Of course, I suggest the minute time frame, or even you can go to the 30 seconds time frame and go ahead and identify how price is being printed, let's say. This is the most important thing that you can do probably as a beginner or as someone who wants to finally learn correct trading and not the bullshit that the other people are teaching you. Okay, guys? So this was our number one. Number two, you need to know which the best lower time frame is for you, plus which one is objectively the best one after the 1 day time frame. And now you might tell me, Chris, I'm going to the hourly, I'm going to this, I'm going to that. Sometimes I'm going to the 5 minute, sometimes I'm doing this and that. This will not work for you. You have to have certain time frames. I'm having specifically 3 time frames. I'm going from the daily to another time frame, which is my favorite time frame, okay, which is whatever minute. I'm not gonna talk about it right here. And those are things that you can learn in the premium. And then I'm going down to the 1 minute time frame. Now, even if I would be telling you which time frame this is, let's suppose it is the 5 minute, then you wouldn't still be able to catch the moves that I'm catching. There is no way you would be able to do that. So this is point number 2. As an example, let's assume that we were exactly right here and we were expecting this candlestick right here to break above this previous candlestick. You would be having your bias. Okay, let's put a highlight down here. Wait, right there. And you would be scaling, let's assume on the 5 minute time frame, we're just assuming that you would be finding a specific area from which you would be trading. And of course, this is not the fair value gap area that you are expecting. So even if you have the bias correct, to get back to the point of this video, as I'm making this video, okay, right here, even if you get your bias correct on the daily, even if you know which time frame is the best one for you, whatever, in order to take your trades from, then you will find out that your fair value gaps will not be working most of the time. Okay, so in this occasion right here, of course, the fair value gap has worked, but you have to consider, let's assume we are on the hourly time frame, that price did not respect this fair value gap right here. Where is my fair value gap? Did not respect this one as it was coming back, and did not respect this one a lot, because if you would be buying on the hourly time frame, you do not have the opportunity probably to catch those moves unless you are going down to a lower time frame right here. Then you would maybe have the opportunity. The whole point is to catch the moves and identify those fair value gaps very successfully, the ones that are gonna be holding again and again and again, guys. Okay, and here we were exactly right here. Now finally price came down all the way down and gave the real move over here. Okay, it did give the real move exactly right here. If you try to repeat this thing again and again, you will see that if I take you to the future again, and if you would be trying to buy, let's assume from this area right here, as an example, you would be losing, certainly. Sometimes it's gonna be working. It is very easy in retrospect when you see it like that, and many people are manipulating you into believing that this works again and again and again. As an example, this right here, supposedly, when I'm showing it to you right now, it looks very easy. You would take the trade from here, you would win. Yes, of course, but this is all in retrospect. Here you would lose, and here you would lose again, and then here you would lose again. So in order for this thing to make sense even slightly, you should be going for a 10-to-1 every single time, and still you wouldn't be winning. I'm pretty sure about that you wouldn't be winning. Look at that, again failed, and again and again and again. This is the sad reality. So in order, those are the first things you need to do in order to identify fair value gaps. And I'm not finished. I'm gonna go to the secret sauce. Okay, daily time frame bias, which you can learn certain rules, but you can also develop intuition from scaling down to the 1 minute time frame and watching price action for hours and hours and hours. Number two, you need to know which time frame is the best time frame. Am I gonna be identifying my fair value gaps then, once I have identified my bias on the daily? Am I gonna identify my fair value gaps on the hourly, on the 30-minute, the 15-minute, the 10-minute, whatever, which I have the secret for that as well. And number three, what kind of confirmation am I going to be looking for in order to take my trade? Plus, what, without the parentheses, okay, plus what rules am I going to follow, plus what stop loss take profit, plus risk. Okay, those are all things. You see, trading is not that easy as they're teaching it or as they are claiming that it is. We are only a handful of players who can make it in this industry and win non-stop. Actually, okay, we can win non-stop sometimes, as I said, 2 months in a row without a single losing day, not trade. Do not get confused. I have lost trades. I have not lost days in the past 2 months, okay? And we are only a handful of players who can do it, and there is a very specific reason for that, because guys, you go ahead and believe every single idiot on YouTube, and you believe that the bigger the channel, the YouTube channel, the better they are in teaching you things, when it is almost certainly exactly the opposite. The larger the channel, the biggest the scam, okay? And it is very bad for me to say that, because if my channel explodes in some magical way at some point in the future, then you might tell me, Chris, you had said that. Yeah, I had said that, but I'm also showing you that, okay? And I'm also doing that live, which most people are not doing live, of course. There is no question that they're not doing it live. And this is the difference between me and them, and between some other legit traders and them as well. Okay, so now, point 3. This is a very, very important point. For you, You might be going ahead and placing pending orders. As an example, let's assume that you have identified a bullish bias, just as an example. Right here, you would be having certain ways to enter, let's say. Maybe you are the type of person who says, I'm gonna be placing buy limit orders right here, okay? And then I lose, and this is another buy limit order. And the stop loss, let's assume, below this candlestick. And then I lose again, as you will see, because you would be targeting some liquidity. And then another buy limit order, which again, in retrospect now, it's gonna look very nice that you will be winning, but you will not be winning, guys. In the long term, imagine you have already 2 losses right here. In the long term, with this thing, you're gonna be losing. Absolutely, okay? You see, you would be lucky in this occasion, and you would be needing to hold not only overnight, over the weekend, which is impossible, especially in futures. It is possible, but it needs a lot of capital, and it is absolutely stupid thing to do. Okay, so this would be theoretically a way to enter from your preferred time frame. Another way to enter for you could be, these are all examples, scaling down to a lower time frame. Now, most of you are looking for this thing called confirmation. So then you are looking for a change of character, for some fair value gap to be created. Then you are entering, and 90% of the time you are losing the trade. It gets right back and stops you out. And if it doesn't, even if it doesn't, you are losing way more times than the times that you are winning. And even the reward to risk cannot save you. Let's be honest. The way now we are doing it, and this is the way that I started my video as well, not only we have the bias, we only have certain zones from the footprint charts which we are using in success, great success, every single day, and we are scaling down to the 1 minute time frame. And believe it or not, we are taking our trades from tiny little areas. As an example, we have this area right here, and we have another area down here, and we start building our position with some DCAing. This is only 6 ticks, by the way. So we are starting over here as an example, and then this is not a stop loss. The stop loss is below the overall zone, let's say. We do not need any extra confirmation, and then we are repositioning, let's say, right here. And of course, you might say you don't have a stop loss. I do have a stop loss, and it is, let's say, below the area or a certain amount of money. So let's assume I'm risking an overall, whenever I hit 200, 250, this is what I'm doing. Plus, when it plays in my favor, I build the position up as it is moving. I'm not afraid to build the position up. Same thing right here. We have the main zone, and you will tell me, what the hell is this zone? This is from the things that I'm teaching and the footprint charts, and usually we are even getting the point to the tick, as I call it. So many times we catch the moves from exactly the point where they are happening, and we are scalping them. Okay, I'm mostly scalping them, but if I see that it moves towards my direction, I'm going ahead and I'm building it. And this is, for example, proof from today how I built up those accounts separately, not traded all together. Okay, I didn't trade all of them together. I took this from one of my zones, this from another one, from another one, from another one, and from another one. More than $1,000 day, $1,089 day, guys. So those are the 3 things that you should be doing in order for your fair value gaps not to fail you. You have to have a bias from the daily time frame, and in order to learn how to have some intuition for this bias, you need to be on the 1 minute time frame and just watch price action for hours in order to learn how price will move on the daily then. Do not pay attention to this one with the delayed charts, by the way, because I'm not trading here. I'm trading on Quant-Hour Nitro. Actually, it is the very same thing with Quant-Hour. I'm using TradingView just for me to show you the examples, okay, and the videos, just to do the videos. Number 2, you need to find the correct second time frame, lower time frame, which is there is an objective time frame, which for sure you don't know which one it is, and I have this specific time frame. Okay, with the way that I'm teaching it, it is the most significant time frame. Why is it? Because it is, I don't know why. And number 3, what kind of confirmation am I looking at? For example, as I said, you are looking for a bunch of confirmations. Me, as an example, let's assume that this was an area where I traded from. I did not, or did I? Actually, I did from this one because it is a beautiful breaker. I'm not gonna get into it, but I remembered which area it is. Over here, I would have the main zone, let's assume, okay. And then I would have my certain little zones, which are not gonna be a lot. 2 or 3 zones mostly, sometimes only 1. I would have this, let's say, and this somewhere here, and I would start building the position down there, and if it would go against me, I would build up here. Now, this thing wouldn't exist in higher fair value gaps. I'm not using premium and discount. I'm just using the daily time frame in order to identify those things. Once price would get back into my area, then I would instantly enter. I would not wait for any stupid confirmation that they are teaching you. Okay, there is no confirmation in the market. Either your zone holds way more than 80% of the time, or you don't know how to identify the perfect zones. I know how to identify the perfect zones. I don't need any extra confirmation. Okay, how many times you guys are checking for a silly confirmation, such as in this occasion right here, as an example, change of character, and then you identify your stupid little fair value gaps and price comes back and stops you out. For me, this doesn't happen. At least 90% of the times, I haven't lost a single day for the past 2 months. I'm very happy. I'm slowly building my wealth with trading, and this is a fantastic thing that you can also do. Okay, if you go ahead and enroll in my spectacular services, with by far the best service being the one-on-one, I have 4 lessons in the price of 3. Instead of going ahead and spending all of your money in challenges that you are never gonna pass, or you're gonna spend 5,000 to make back 1,000, don't be silly. In order to do this thing, you must be absolutely silly. Learn how to trade and go ahead and make your money consistently every single day, many months without even a single losing day inside a certain month. This is fantastic, okay? So these were my 3 tips, and if you want to learn more and become successful, such as myself, go ahead and click on the links that I have down in the description and in the comments section. Furthermore, of course, share this video with all of your trading friends and family, those people who are struggling in life and trading. This is gonna help them a lot to develop as traders and as human beings as well. Like the video, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and this is gonna do it for today, traders. And thank you all for watching. Until next time.